5-minute salute. I'm your host, Chris Budahas. Today's segment is sponsored by the Military Affairs and Veterans Department of the City of Jacksonville. Joining me virtually from the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, is Jason with MemPsych Biotech. Jason, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing exceptionally well. Thank you so much, Chris.
No, thanks for taking time to tell your story. So, can you give the audience a little bit of background on you? Where are you originally from and what you do in the military?
Yeah, originally Queens, New York, and then ended up in Columbus, Ohio, and converted me into a Buckeye really early in my life. And 18 years old, graduated from high school barely, and had no other life choices. So the Army reached out, said, "Hey, we got this Army College Fund thing, and you know you're smart enough that you can be in the Army, so sign up." And that started an adventure that lasted many, many years. And now I ended up in Cincinnati due to my last duty assignment at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base as an Army guy.
Yes, sir.
So I started off enlisted, and this just through Green to Gold or whatever it was called, put me into ROTC, finished that up as a 2-year candidate, and then ended up back in the Army as a first lieutenant.
Excellent. And so you finished your service. Thank you very much. Obviously, without your service to the nation, we couldn't do this here today. So, and you got into the business space, specifically in the medical side. So can you tell the audience, so MemPsych Biotech, what is this company, and what were the other companies? Were they all in the medical space also that you previously created?
No, actually, Sam Nunn called me and said, "Hey, I'm starting this Troops to Teachers program. We're taking retiring Army officers and sticking you in inner city math, science, special needs classrooms. You interested?"
Oh, wow.
I'm like, I'm not going back to an Army field unit. So I ended up being relocated to Cincinnati, Ohio, and I taught in Cincinnati public schools in math and science. And during that time, I had a couple special needs students. I invented a technology to help them interact with paper. And Microsoft ended up getting involved in that, Hewlett-Packard, Freescale Semiconductor. And I ended up moving forward into the business space, raised capital as soon as my 5-year commitment as a teacher was over. And that put me on the trajectory of being an entrepreneur. And then so I had some technology, hardware, software background, and then I moved back into the biotech space, launched a bacterial engineering company, ended up having that acquired by a Pubco, publicly traded company, and I've just continued on that path. And so MemPsych is really an interesting one because now it's a novel compound that we're bringing to market. We literally made our first sale 2 days ago. For memory. And this particular novel molecule has clinical trial behind it showing an 18% increase over the baseline group as a random double-blind study. So we're really excited to bring this molecule to market and help people improve their memory. And of course, with the Army connection with traumatic brain injuries, TBIs, CTEs on the other side, this just became an automatic for me to have a great fit for veterans.
So that's excellent. So is it for any specific age group, one, and then number two, is it an oral or in a pill form, or is it a vaccine?
Yeah, so this is actually run number one. It's a capsule, and there's two versions of the capsule, 100 milligram, 50 milligram. It's an expensive product, and therefore it's really targeted to an older population with disposable income who are really suffering from dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, just age-related. I think you may have saw the article last week that came out in Nature Medicine that 40% of the population above the age of 60 is very susceptible to dementia. So that was a huge study, and we're right in the center to be able to make a difference to that population. We can't really scale this to drugstore shelves because of the rarity of the novel molecule for now. We call it cyclamen, and
Yes,
cyclamen, until we can synthetically produce it, we're stuck to a Mother Nature only, and as a result of the scarcity, we just can't get it out to a wide distribution. So it's pretty much an older population that's suffering from significant memory and mental health issues.
Does this medication, is it essentially, prevent, or if you have some form of dementia or early onset, does it assist with reducing the continuation or the speed at which it's coming on?
Chris, that's actually a great question. We don't have any research as to whether or not it's a preventative or simply a treat. So we know that in the double-blind random study, that was really about improvement. So in that case, we didn't see an assessment for decline. It was a random double-blind, so you had a couple there. So we don't really have data on whether or not it acts preventatively, because that's a really long-term study, a very longitudinal study, in order to say, okay, we have a decrease, what percentage decrease do we have? And then do we see a slowing of that with the application of cyclamen? So there isn't any clinical trial data about this. The clinical trial data is on improvement. So you do a baseline study. At the end of that baseline, you take it for, in this case, it was a 90-day study of 0.7 milligrams. And then that jumps up to an 18% increase in memory. That is a significant,
substantial
increase. We call that big time statistical significance. So improvement is where we really are targeted today, not prevention.
That's excellent. Yeah, and since we're actually an international show these days, because we had somebody on London last week, how do folks find this your medication?
Yeah, so we just launched our store for MemFocus. So as a biotech company, we really don't go by the brand name of the company MemPsych. It's really MemFocus, the product itself, right? And cyclamen is the active ingredient, the bioactive within it. For now, you can find it at MemPsych Bio, but it'd be easier for people to find it at MemFocus, MEMFOCUS, right? Mem as in memory, and then focus for focus.com. And memfocus.com will take you to the store, and at the store you can make the purchase of the 50 or 100 milligram cyclamen MemFocus product. We'll have it on Amazon within the end of the month. And obviously that's been a really big effort to get through Amazon with something like this. There's a lot of hoops to jump through. There's FDA regulatory stuff to jump through.
Right.
So right now it's memfocus.com, and within a couple of weeks it'll be at Amazon under MemFocus and Memory.
Well, Jason, number one, thank you for service to the nation. Obviously, if you didn't do that, we couldn't do this right here. And two, man, you've had one heck of a post-military journey. Man, what a great thing to hit the market here, because you're right. You watch TV, and then, as we have older relatives ourselves, you see that, over the years, of course, now we know more than we did when I was growing up and you were growing up, and we're just like, grandma's kind of losing a little bit, but there's actually science behind that, and the fact that you guys are, taking an attack to help folks out with a good quality of life into their last chapter, so to speak, is admirable. So thanks again. I appreciate it. We're going to take all that contact information, put in our show notes, and then post this out to the great internet sphere so folks can, one, take a look at MemFocus and get in contact with the company, and then also connect with you on LinkedIn. So thank you very much.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Chris. I enjoyed being with you, and great questions.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Hey, folks, you like what you heard? Connect with Jason and I on LinkedIn. We'd love to talk to you. Take a look at MemFocus and also our show notes. We'll see our next segment on Live with Gratitude.
When they leave us for battle, we await their return. When their embrace is gone, we imagine them with us. Some don't come back. We grieve. Some come back hurting. We help. Heroes survive. We honor them. Heroes fall. We remember them. 150,000 veterans live in Jacksonville. We serve them. We're the Military Affairs and Veterans Department, City of Jacksonville. Because of them, our light never dims.